Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts, and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. So let's take a look again on the cryptocurrencies. Although the overall performance of the market is a bit quiet, so not a lot of interesting things we have for discussion today, and even reaction on the Fed statement was relatively weak. So it means that overall treatment of this reaction and market understanding of what Fed had said actually is a bit different, just because on the first glance it was a bit dovish, as Fed has changed rate only for the 25 basis points, while in reality, if you are taking a look a bit deeper on the statement that have been provided, you will see that it's rather hawkish. So I have explained in our weekly reports on the gold market, on the Forex market, so probably you have read them. So extension of the term of the rate hiking cycle, the terminal rate that stands high right now around 2.8%, the downgrading of the gross domestic product forecast, starting of the sell-off of the bonds on the balance sheet of the Fed Reserve. All these moments point on a hawkish position from the Fed. And since the Bitcoin generates no interest, pays no dividends, it will be really difficult times for cryptocurrencies. It's just because it will be difficult to compete with their bonds, for example, or high yield dividend bond stocks. And that's why, despite that recent upward pullback that we see, it looks very choppy and weak, and we do not think that this is starting of the reversal. So it makes us keep previous analysis intact. In particular, speaking on the weekly chart here, we still suggest that it might be downward breakout of the pennant pattern. It's actually the last week Bitcoin also was standing inside of the range of the previous week, so it was not able to pass through it and move out of the range. And on a daily chart, this is the reason why we still keep valid our 26 target. Speaking generally, to set and get the new direction on the Bitcoin market has to break some important levels, as we said. So we could speak about the long-term rally and the reversal, bullish reversal on the Bitcoin, if market will move above the confidence resistance right here, so somewhere above the 47 area. Downside, well, in this case you will see that's downside breakout, tells us that we're going to the 26. That's actually our major scenario that we're watching right now. Until this will happen, in any direction, whatever it will be, I mean the breakout, you could just keep an eye on some intraday performance, trying to catch some minor patterns. That's all. That actually happens every time when the market stands in tight consolidation without any direction. And all that you could try to trade is some noise on the intraday charts. And this particular what we have right now. If you do not like this, and maybe indeed it makes sense to search for something else on other currencies and other assets for trading. Because right now, if we'll take a look on the daily chart, here probably we can't count anymore on the butterfly, or at least the shape of the butterfly has not been formed that we discussed, despite that market in general keeps well at this initial upward swing. All following swing stands inside of this one, and theoretically we could suggest the appearing of the butterfly right here, but it's just shape a bit not quite suitable to the current performance. It's more probable that we will consider some triangle. The grabbers that have been formed a couple of weeks ago are still valid, so they suggest drop below these lows, and it still could happen. So we do not see the raising of the bearish patterns. On the lower time frames, you could identify a lot of potential patterns that you could trade. For instance, this is butterfly to the downside, maybe. You could even find some butterfly to the upside, right? Here is a smaller butterfly to the downside as well, and smaller butterfly to the upside. All of them has chances to be formed. It's just because of the narrowing price action. When markets turns to the narrowing price action, it always keeps the door open to the both scenarios. But to choose the right direction, you could only using some more important background than it stands right now on the market. By our opinion, this background is not very friendly for the bullish reversal on the cryptocurrencies. Besides, you could see that Bitcoin reacts a bit different compared to the stock market. If stock market, especially the S&P, I will show you. We have the S&P index. You can see it shows great performance on the daily chart in recent few sessions. Last week actually was the superb upward action on the S&P. You could see that on the Bitcoin market, you do not see anything of that sort. So it means that the investors treat this not even as good as some stock, because if bullish background appears, they start to buy stocks. They ignore the cryptocurrencies, just because too big volatility stands on the market, and mostly investors treat it as the secondary quality stock, as we already have talked previously many times. That also shows that interest of the investors to the Bitcoin currently stands really low. So depending on your opinion, if you would like to anticipate the breakout in any direction, you could follow in two possible ways. First, you could deal actually classically with this pattern. So for example, let's suggest that you would like to buy Bitcoin based on potential butterfly that here could be formed. In this case, you have to place stop somewhere below this area. If you'd like to sell based on this butterfly, for example, or this one, you have to place stop above here or here. Alternatively, in such circumstances, very often using the stop orders might be very helpful. So for instance, you do not want to anticipate, but you would like to take the position in the direction of the breakout. In this case, for example, you could place stop buy order right here, and if market starts breaking up, you will step in and trade. The same we could say about the downside breakout. Until this will happen, if you would like to trying to forecast and foresee the patterns, you of course could try to make the bets on possible patterns that might be formed. But our opinion is it would be better to not try to trade it inside this triangle and wait for clarity. Only those of you who would like to take the long-term bearish positions, you could consider weekly chart, weekly pattern, place stop somewhere above this area, and just watch for breakout of this possible pennant. But this is for long-term trading process. But currently, as a rule, more people searching for Bitcoin for investing, for taking the long position rather than trying to make the speculation on the long-term trend, long-term time frame. So finally, last short on the hourly chart, potentially we have here some kind of the ABCD pattern to the upside. You could also consider some downside pattern. What I would like to show, this is not about the target actually. I don't think that definitely will be upward action right to the OP. I just would like to show you the speed difference. So take a look at the CD leg, how it should be based on this performance, what the speed we actually have. Big slowdown, and market actually was not able to complete the OP. This is bearish sign. That's why, although last week we haven't got supposed possible ABCD pattern here, market was moved slightly higher compared to the points that we discussed. But anyway, we still do not see any reasons to consider this a bullish performance. So that's our opinion. In two words speaking, as a conclusion, we think that taking the long position here will be more risky than considering any short positions. This is first moment. Second moment, our suggestion is current circumstances. It would be better to wait and see for the better patterns or even for a breakout of the triangle that we have. Although it is potentially bearish, and theoretically, if you would like to act earlier, do not wait for it. You could try to anticipate this, but this carries lots of risk. So This is our view on Bitcoin right now.